Think of your top 5 favorite games of all time. In the next 5 seconds, or this mouse will have squeaked his last cheese by the hands of my Mouse Masher 9000. Why isn't it? Wait, are you gonna real mouse? Assuming you were able to Gandhi that shit out and use your big, beautiful galaxy brain under that pressure, I'll bet that at least one of those games you listed had a 2 after it, or was just a second installment in some kind of way. And there's a good reason that, for most of you, that's the case. Because all good things come in 2s. Wings, shoes, semi-trucks. Okay, that's not actually why. I'd say it's because the path for upgrading the first game is pretty straightforward since there was only one game before it. After creating the first game, you've now got the perfect canvas to turn Ugly Betty into a certified bad bitch. But of course, the second installment being an upgrade can also make the first one just look like a downgrade depending on which game you played first. I remember my first experience with just such an occasion as though it were only 4,937 days ago. The year was 3, BBAHPLBFD. Before Blockbuster and his pretty little booty fucking died. In case you didn't know, Blockbuster was a DVD rental store that would let you bully McGuire on in and pick any DVD or ding-damn game calling out your ding-damn name for 2 to 7 ding-damn days. The company eventually went bankrupt due to the not-so-great recession and the rise in popularity of streaming services and other competing DVD rental services like Netflix and Redbox. So if you were born anytime in the later 2000s, then you might not be all too familiar with Blockbuster, since in 2010, Blockbuster and his whole fucking clan went kaputs, you feel me? Legend says one Blockbuster survived and fled to Alaska. Locals say he's training, getting stronger, set on a goal to murder his best friend Redbox Uzumaki and obtain the Mangekyo Sharingan so he can avenge his clan by defeating his older brother Netflix, which I have no fucking clue what I'm talking about anymore. So, one fateful 2007 day, my grandma took me to the local Blockbuster to pick up any game I wanted for the week. I was specifically looking for a Nintendo game, since from past experience, I was certain getting a game made by Nintendo meant I was in for a good time. Then, by the power of Goddess Thea, I spied a peculiar looking title in the GameCube section, Pikmin 2. Made by Nintendo? Something I've never played? Fuck yeah, I did. And for the week that followed, I had one of the greatest and most original gaming experiences of my 9-year-old career thus far. But of course, the week eventually came to an end, and I had to return the game. After that, you better believe the only sentences my mind could formulate at that time were, I could really go for a waffle right now. Chocolate Axe smells like depression. Grandma, could you take me to GameStop and buy me Pikmin 2? Eventually she came around, and when we went to that GameStop, I immediately headed straight for... Pikmin? Where's Pikmin 2? They didn't have any. No nearby stores had a copy, which would have been a massive disappointment if they didn't have Pikmin 1. And it was. A massive disappointment. Okay, look, Pikmin 1 is a fantastic game, but when you're a snot-nosed little 9-year-old that doesn't realize that the first game might feel like a downgrade experience compared to the second game, then you're gonna come in with some high-ass hopes just to do the electric boogaloo right off a cliff. Why is there only 3 kinds of Pikmin? Why does this game only have 30 days? The other one was infinite. Have you seen my baby? Where's my baby? Why did they take my baby? It took me waiting a few years, finally getting my hands on Pikmin 2, playing through all of it, and desiring more for me to finally play Pikmin 1 all the way through. And with all that out of the way, what's poppin', my city folk? It's your queen, Cindy Goodman, and on today's Daily Fix, we're discussing second installments and why they're often the best in their respective series. Also wear banana. Ooh. I guess we should start with what in tarnation I even mean by second installments, and honestly, anything with the number 2 slapped on it. Numbers, Roman numerals, or even words like the next chapter. Anything implying this is a continuation of the first installment. I should also mention that I will be spoiling the endings of these games for examples in this next section, so if you want to steer clear of the spoiler boiler, then you better tap this timestamp annotation. Up. Wait, but only with your nose. Alright, go ahead. You missed it. You try again. Oh, so close. Ah, you idiot. It's not a real annotation. Alright, go on. Get out of here. Not every game is gonna get a sequel, and maybe they don't need it. Sometimes it's better to just focus your efforts on making a new game, even though it's a little risky considering people are more likely to buy into a familiar IP rather than a big, shiny, brand spanking new one. But assuming you've got the money and are looking to make a number 2, then we can get cooking. Actually, first we should make sure your game is primed and lubed for a sequel by seeing if it had one of these 4 endings. Did it have a cliffhanger ending, like in Halo, where you realize there's more than just one galactic Fruit Loop? Was it an open-ended ending, like in Sonic Adventure, when, sure, you may have saved Chaos, but now Egg Boy's getting away to probably go do more villainous Egg Boy shit? Was the ending like Ty the Tasmanian Tiger, when you get your whole squad back showing that the goal was achieved and the story was concluded, good, but people want more? Or was it like Mario Party, where it's not story focused, but people want more? Assuming your response was yes to any of those and you got that cream, then it's about time we press start. Oh fuck. I can't believe you've done this. I meant it when I said they have a pretty straightforward path for upgrading the experience. On paper, it's as simple as listen to the audience, find out what made the first game click, reuse those principles to introduce new mechanics and level designs, don't fix what wasn't broken, and spice it up with a new story and setting. Bada boom, bada bana. That's a beautiful banana. The biggest hurdle you'll be facing is trying to create new concepts that aren't so new and bizarre that it feels like it doesn't belong to the same series, but also not so familiar that it just ends up feeling like DLC. There really is a sweet spot here, but we're missing one ingredient because technically you could follow this rule to a T and it still not be interesting. What comes to my mind for an interesting concept that falls in that sweet spot for me is the Portal 2 Reloaded mod by Giannis Brinkman. If I pronounce that right, you owe me $4. Portal is a game about solving puzzles by using portals, momentum, buttons, blocks, and other various mechanics, but most importantly, portals. That quantum glory hole, that's kind of nasty. That we understand allows us to go in from one point and come out another. Well, this mod adds a third portal that's shaped like a square and allows you to travel through time. What the fuck? And yes, it's a mod, so it could technically be seen as DLC to Portal 2, but honestly, this could easily warrant a third installment and even easilier make way for one fuck of a story. Honestly, my description can't do it justice. You need to just go watch their whole trailer. So at this point, the obvious question would be, if the path to making a good sequel is so straightforward, then how would a company get it wrong? Usually when people think second installments, they think bigger and better. Wimpy goldfish versus family-sized flavor-blasted goldfish. Goldfish 2. But as I just showed you, that's not really the core of it. It's about dialing down on the love for the first game, which, yeah, it could mean going bigger, but if you lose sight of what made the first game great, it's possible that you could go bigger, better, and worse. Leading example that comes to my mind for this is Banjo-Tooie. While the first game had sanctioned worlds that you would explore with attention to detail, collectibles around every corner, and interesting fun mechanics to get you from place to place, Banjo-Tooie took a heavier focus on having more abilities and bigger worlds, which sounds great, right? Yeah, until someone actually slaps that sweaty cunt in your damn dirty paws. Yeah, these worlds are definitely larger, but the collectibles are now super spread out. The interesting layouts are now few and far between with all this vastness, and half of the collectibles can't even be obtained without later abilities. For example, let's compare this to the first world in Banjo-Kazooie, Mumbo's Mountain. Right out the gate, there's a trail of notes, kind of like Mario's coins, leading you in the right direction, making sure to act as a tour guide through this world's compact design. Banjo-Tooie will yeet us that fetus right out the fucking window. These notes are still here, but now they're less of a tour guide and more of another hidden collectible around these massive maps where ironically a tour guide would be way more valuable. So what once felt like a nice set of little playgrounds is now a big, empty, interconnected, backtracking buttfuck of a mess when compared to its predecessor. Still a great game though. Oh shit, it's easy to say just reuse the principles you used to make the first game when you're not the one who has to put them in practice and not fuck up, especially with the pressure on your back of making a sequel that could potentially tarnish the name of an already beloved series. And with certain examples, maybe promoting your game as a second installment is a little too dangerous if you've made an assload of adjustments. If you're looking to make big game-changing adjustments but want to call it a sequel, you could just take the Elder Scrolls route and make the title small up top and the subtitle a Magnum Dong so that everybody just refers to Elder Scrolls V as just Skyrim. I feel like Ni no Kuni 2 could have really benefited from this. You don't need to know much about this game except that Ni no Kuni 1 and 2 are both in the same world, but 2 not only has a different story, but different characters, a different gimmick, and even different combat mechanics. Needless to say, people didn't really feel like it was a sequel to the game before it, but more of a spin-off in the same series. This could have easily been remedied if they took the Elder Scrolls route like I mentioned and just made Revenant Kingdom the big text and Ni no Kuni 2 small up top. This way people wouldn't have expected it as a continuation of the story, but more as just a continuation of the series. If you ask me, big, risky changes to a game series should be saved for spin-offs where you can test the waters with these new mechanics before you put them in a sequel that has that chunky number slapped on there. Whether it's in their control or not, sometimes sequels just don't come out as planned. Maybe if Last of Us 2 wasn't trying to be the big brand new sequel to the motherfucking Last of Us, then it wouldn't have received the criticisms it did. If it had different main characters with a different name, then people could have just seen it for what it was, which was an amazing game. Before we go, I feel like there's one more big boy pregunta, which is apparently Spanish for question. I don't know, don't ask me. What do I look like, Gus mother effing Johnson? I wish. That question being, if one of the sequels is the best in that series, can I just start there? Do I really need to play what came before it? To that I say I've got 2 questions. 1, how much do you care about this franchise and perhaps gaming as a whole? And 2, how patient are you? Also 3, why is it so comfy under your bed? You could just reverse long jump right into the most enticing installment all you like, but you could be missing out on a sweeter, more upgraded feeling experience had you played earlier installments. On the other hand, if you don't have the patience but feel like you have to play the games before it, then you may lose interest in the series as a whole before you even get to touch the one you're excited about. Personally, the way I'd handle this is by starting from the beginning, no matter what. You can drop in whatever ding-dam Mario Farty or Mortal Wombat game you feel, but maybe not something like Halo 2 where it's a direct continuation of Wombat Evolved. I mean, at the end of the day, it's up to you. If you feel like you don't have the patience, then maybe just jump in any damn game you feel, and if you beat that and are looking for more content from that franchise and are willing to settle for a potentially lesser experience mechanically, then all the power to you, baby. I'm just the fucker who's looking to play every must-play game in existence, so shit on me, I guess. I guess to wrap all this up, sometimes the sequel ends up feeling so different that it would have been better as a separate standalone title, and other times it's so similar that it may as well just ended up being DLC to its predecessor. But these problems tend to worsen as you get farther down the line, having to make like a third installment. But often, the second time around is easy to get right. Oh, and one last thing. Did you find out where Banana was? Well, to quote my good friend the Legend Sauce, Banana here. This whole time. The real Banana was the friends we made along the way. Alright, fine, I'm gonna stop there. Go to sleep. Yo, what's happening? Thanks for finishing the whole video. If you're new and you enjoyed that, please hit subscribe. I plan on making a lot of videos in the future. I don't ever see myself stopping, but yeah, I mean, sorry this took so long. I honestly don't know why it did. It just kind of did. I don't know. I felt like I was working hard on it, but I guess not hard enough. But anybody who's following me on Twitter, it probably is okay because you'll hear from me if you're following me on Twitter. I got a bunch of brain dead tweets. So if you like that kind of stuff, go ahead and follow me. Please give feedback, okay? For this video, I'm trying something out. I'm testing a little something. So if you want to help me out with this next video, not the very next one, but a future video, please give me feedback, all right? Like, trash this video where it deserves it and praise it where it deserves it, okay? Please, both of those are important. So anyways, but yeah, my life's been good. I beat Breath of the Wild. That game's fucking bonkers to say the least. I like went through and got the Tunic of the Wild by doing all the shrines. I got the DLC and did the Master Sword trials and rode up to Hyrule Castle on the fucking motorcycle and took selfies with Ganon before I wiped the floor with him. So that was fun. And then I continued playing Earthbound because I've been like in the middle of playing that, and now I'm sucked into that. And Earthbound, holy crap, I love it, dude. Like, I love stuff that has like comedy in it, not like as a comic relief thing, but like even if the story is serious, they still take a heavy focus on comedy and like trying to make you laugh as you're going through this journey. You do that in any of my media and you win me over. Like I just finished Nichijou, and y'all ever heard of Nichijou? I finished that and I immediately started rewatching it. That shit is heavenly. Oh my god, dude. It's like actually making me excited to animate, because like before, like when working on videos and stuff, animation's just like, my videos, I don't see them without animation. Like I feel like it's a very important thing for what I'm going for, but the actual process of animating has been kind of a drag. But I don't know, man, the stuff that happens in Nichijou like makes me want to animate. Like you should just look up some scenes from it. But yeah, I guess that's about it. I'll see y'all later, hopefully real soon. I've got a video coming out that shouldn't take too long to make. I don't know. I thought this one wouldn't, but fucking here we are. But yeah, hopefully real soon. Hopefully like mid-July at the latest. But anyways, yeah, see y'all in the next one. Have a good one. Bye-bye.